How cute is this little baby original, y'all? Just a few inches, kind of like a big postcard. Nice little story though. If you got a second, we're hanging out in the snow doing story time. And this little bad boy is Malaysian Village, where I was lucky enough to be taken with a friend. We were there for a few weeks working at an eco resort, and it was just south of the border with Thailand. Some of these indigenous peoples are being displaced by farming. I'm not sure if I got the full story on which community this was, if they were, but they kind of had moving around a lot vibes. So the structures were a little bit more temporary, and but it was an established village. There was roads, there was towns. They seemed to know what was going on. So we come into town. You can kind of see the little boats there. And we come up the hill, and one of the very first things we see is one of the little houses hanging out. And in the front yard, Mom is mowing, I assume it's Mom. She's got a little kid, I think, strapped to her back too. But she was mowing the lawn with a machete, which is a cool approach, especially I would assume in those areas with all that biodiversity. And I see mowing the lawn, it was pretty well taken care of. She was just, tidying it. And I don't know, maybe that was, I don't know what was going on, but she was taking the machete and just cutting the grass. And you know how kids always want to help? Well, there was a little kid, she'd given him the old rusty machete that was about as tall as he was. And he was just hanging out, kind of watching us come into town and pretending he was doing that, which is super fun. Later, our friends, and this is actually why we're there, took us to some of the other kids in the village, or other guys, I should say, young men. And we went and got gas for the generator. We came back and they all played like Metallica and AC/DC and like all these songs on the guitar with my friend that was very musically inclined. And it was super fun. I have another painting in the works of some of the kids in the village like watching us. But it was pretty rad and it was a fun experience. So I have painted this twice. This was my first attempt. I think I did this in sorry to cover the camera there, 17. And there is a hornbill up there featured. If you follow my work, you know that I do have a hornbill portrait on display at Orange Restaurant in Chicago in Roscoe Village. So kind of looks like that hornbill, but a lot bigger and for sale in Chicago. This one is for sale if you email me. So there's no additional gallery hanging and transport and me having to go to Chicago to do all of that. If you want, I'll send it right to you. Just email me and then we'll talk about payment info. But it can come with a frame if you want to. How rad is that? I hope you love it. And thanks for hanging out for story time, even if you're just here for story time. We appreciate it. I hope you're having a happy day. Ciao, ciao.